ये दो साल तवे वाले बुके जी
To one and all, to the Mega HR Conclave 2018, scheduled at Rungta Group of Institutions, Billai and Raipur. This Mega HR Conclave boasts of the presence of illuminated dignitaries who are a name to reckon with in their respective domains. This dais is graced by Mr. Arun Kumar Singh, Senior VP, EMEA, Business Unit Head at Prinox. Ratnaveli Rajan, Head HR at Ball Beverage Packaging, India. Alok Tagore, Regional Talent Leader for East, Deloitte, India. Shankar Sundarlingam, Senior Manager, HRBP at BSH Home Appliances. Joshua Dable, HR Lateral Recruitment at Cognizant Technology Solutions. Anup K.C. Raju, HR Lead at TechnoWorld. Karthik D, Deputy Manager, Employee Relations with Mahindra and Mahindra. Saurabh sir is also requested to welcome Shri
करना वाला वो बता
रीयूज रिसाइकिल और एक और क्या
मोदी जी का चलेगा ना तो आर को नियम बनाना
कम दिस प्लीज कम फ्रेंड नाउ थैंक यू
request you all to welcome them with a loud round of applause.
हाँ मोदी जी हमें यहाँ से छोड़ा नहीं था हमारे पास मनी अभी एम से हुआ था मोदी भी एम से दोनों अरुण कुमार सिंह इनसे तो मुलाकात हाँ इनसे तो मुलाकात
Your mobile phones.
या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सामान् पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष जाड्यापहा निःशेष जाड्यापहा निःशेष जाड्यापहा
To please take their seats in front of the dais as we proceed towards our keynote addresses.
क्या मोदी जी ने इतना ही छोड़ा?
मोदी पे मत आओ फिर।
क्यों नहीं आओ फिर? अरे सर प्रसन्न सर from that Apollo BSR hospital which has 210 beds उसको छोड़ के फिर Apollo cancer hospital 80 beds अब एक नामदार hospital
अच्छा ओ I didn't know this is great.
Our special guest, Dr. Jawahar Suri Shetty, is requested to deliver the presidential address. Sir, may I now request all dignitaries to please be seated in the front of the dais as we are due to start with the keynote address.
Dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and my dear friends, good morning to each and every one of you gathered here.
Mr. Joshua David will be welcomed by Sri Mahesh Srivastava. Professor Edwin Anthony will welcome Mr. Anu K.C. Raju.
Say what are the things which are going on in the industry. This morning we were also having a discussion in Chairman Sir's room when we were talking about the Robo Sophia, the kind of an artificial intelligence, the example, and Mr. Arun Kumar Singh also was telling about the NASCOM program where he attended, where Sophia also was a part of it. Now it has gone to the level where we talk about hearing, getting the understanding about it, of what is spoken to you, and responding on the spot about what you are supposed to answer. So that is a kind of a platform where the corporate has moved on to. And if we evaluate where we stand in the academic arena, we are still, I don't say, normally people say 20 years. I would love to say it, we are behind at least 30-35 years. If Dr. Prasanna can vouch it, we were having a kind of a discussion last time. I was just asking him what all the topics that you studied when you were doing your engineering, sir. There is not a big kind of a change between the syllabus, what we had earlier and what we are having at present. But if you evaluate where the end product is supposed to reach as an engineer, when you are getting into a kind of a corporate sector, the IT sector or any other platform or mechanical or core industry, where they have reached is so far ahead. Day before yesterday, if you have read Times of India, there was an article where people have said we need to give more importance to the new trending domain trainings like artificial intelligence, and they have called for a change of syllabus for IITs and triple ITs. So that is the kind of a scenario we are in. And this HR conclave would try to help us on a kind of a bridging of the gap between the academia and the industry. So that is the objective of the program. So whenever we have reached out for the invitation to the people, I am really glad people have responded very positively and they have been here. I would love to extend the warm welcome to all the dignitaries, those who have come. Mr. Arun Kumar Singh. I would like to say a few words, Senior Vice President Quinox. Last 21 month, 1.5 months, he has been always on travel. So whenever I used to send him a text, good evening sir, he responded, good morning professor, I am in Chicago. So thank you very much sir on your busy schedule. He was telling he was in London last week, and after 2 days he was in Chicago, and he reached here by 18th and he is here for the program. Welcome sir on behalf of Rungta Group of Institutions. I would like to welcome Mr. Alok Thakur, recruitment head for East Wing from Deloitte. He is very friendly, very close. Whenever we give him a call, last time he was not able to make it, he was very, at the 11th hour there was some kind of engagement. And this year when I reached out to him, he was the first person to revert and say, I would confirm my participation for the same. Thank you very much for your support and welcome. I would like to, I can put all other things, anyhow. Mr. Anup from Technovert, my friend, I was just telling him when I was extending the bouquet, it was not planned, I didn't give my name to give your bouquet. So kind of a friendship that we have developed, he is very close to me. And I need to make a comment. You might have seen in the HR group, WhatsApp group, I said, Mr. Anup is not making it up today because of certain medical emergencies. In spite of that, he said, I will be coming today, and thank you very much for that. All other my friends, I can put it into one word called Chroma, where I am also, I take pride in saying that I am also a part of that. Chroma Chengalpet Human Resource and Managers Association, now it has gone national now. It is not only Chennai one, it has gone national. We have got so many people from all over India being a part of it. And mostly it is of the union of the association of HR from core industry and others are also there. So I would love to welcome Mr. Ratnavel Rajan. Doctors have advised him not to travel, but he has traveled today for us. Thank you very much for your kind gesture, sir. And Mr. Shankar, Senior Manager from BSH. Thank you, Shankar, for coordinating me. My group, Mr. Joshua David, MD. MD doesn't stand for medical MD, is initial. So people get confused, are you a doctor? So he is from Lead Talent Acquisition from CTS. Welcome, Joshua. I would like to extend my heartiest welcome to Mr. Ashok Kumar from Michelin. So when we reached out to Ashok Kumar, he was very eagerly. Maybe 2 weeks back. So when we sent an invitation to him, he responded immediately saying that what is the agenda. So very happy to have a positive response from you, sir. Welcome to I would like to extend my heartiest welcome to Mr. Vijay Muni, who is also from BSH. He has a program this evening and tomorrow, in spite of which he has made it happen and he is here for the program. Welcome, sir. I would love to welcome Mr. Karthik. Karthik, I know him when he was there in JCI. Still, I have stored it as JCI, Karthik. When I reached out to him, he said, though I have a kind of a program on 24th, he made it a point that he will be here for both the days and he will be there for even 3 days. We have a plan for jungle retreat also. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Karthik. I would love to welcome Mr. Shiva Shanmugam from Lincoln Electric. I just had a chat with him. When I was talking to him, suddenly I started speaking in my mother tongue. Then he was really baffled. Sir, you speak Tamil. I said, I am from Tamil Nadu only. So became very close afterwards. I have met him in Chroma meetings and all. So thank you very much for your support, and we welcome you to the welcoming one and all. I would like to, it's not, though it is not required, I would like to welcome all the dignitaries, all the heads, principals, directors, professors, and my dear students to the venue for the 2-day program. Welcoming you all, I remain. Thank you.
To render a formal ending to the inaugural session, may I now request Dr. S.M. Prasannakumar, Director RCT, to propose the vote of thanks. Dr. Nima Balan will welcome Mr. Vijay Undu.
I just wanted to start.
Dr. S.M. Prasannakumar will welcome Shankar.
Good morning to all the HR leaders here and students and teachers who are present here. On a lighter note, क्योंकि बच्चों को बहुत आर्ट फिल्में पसंद नहीं आती, तो on a lighter note, to the two gentlemen who were sick and have dared to attend the HR conclave, I would like to inform you, sir, that the latest acquisition of medical college is there at your service. The feeling sitting there in the center, occupying the chair of Mr. Santosh Rungta, and with both sides, the HR heads of various big companies, the only line that I can say is Razia Pas Gayi Gundo Mein. All of them big people, and we'll share within the next 2 days all the practices, industry practices, and very important in the sense that which Edwin has made a reference to, is that most of the knowledge that you gain here is theoretical with a little practical. And maybe, if I might sound derogatory, please excuse me, but it might be outdated too. So it is necessary that the industry comes, gives you a reality check in between, and you also don't feel that you are kume ka mendak and doing very, very well in class. In the semester exams you are getting the best percentages and all that. They will give you a reality check that you are not there. So take it with a pinch of salt and take it with the happiness that you are getting it in college. Because many students do not have this opportunity. They go to the industry, fail to be accepted because they don't have the necessary corporate skills that they are looking for. So it is very good that in mid-course you are being exposed to the industry heads who will give you a lot of insights into what is required. Having said that, when FICCI and CII come up with reports and say that only 25% of graduates are employable or considered employable by the corporate leaders, what is that the 75% students do not possess is something that these gentlemen here on stage, जिनको मैंने गलती से गुंडे कह दिया, sorry sir, are going to give it to you. And that is, I would be happy had it been given to me in my college days, and then we would do some course correction, if I can call it, during the period of your BE or BSc or whatever you are doing. That course correction is important. World over, students are doing their engineering or other graduations, but they are also doing short courses of the skills that are required by the industry, even if the college is not providing, or if the college is providing, it's very good. So MOOCs are in, short courses are in, certificate courses are in, bunking of college is out. And even if you are bunking it, make use of these short courses to do some certifications so that your biodata actually with a BTech or something like that doesn't add any value. Everybody has it. So if you do some short courses, maybe from the best universities in the country, in edX, Coursera or Udacity, Udemy, whatever, go ahead, do some courses. You can do them for free, you can do it for a certificate also at a very small cost, but that adds value to your, and it also adds expertise to your domain. So you will need to look into those. Now the HR conclave that we are having, and these are the summing up words, has undergone a sea change. Earlier it used to be called the personnel department. Then it came up as the human resource development. Now, one note of caution, HRD or human resources department, if not handled properly, or if they do not get the right human resources, that HRD turns into human resource destroyer also. And this is one major issue, because if the manpower is not good, not well trained, it's a cost. So if I take someone who is a wrong fit for the company, who doesn't have the necessary skills, and I have to choose someone else after 6 months, it's a cost to the company. So it's a very cost intensive department. If you are fit for that profile that they are looking at, that is the best thing that can save cost to the company. And that is the reason why it is not just your selfish interest that they have come in, it is their interest also that they find right fits from amongst you. So this course correction needs to happen at this stage. So I will put the last word with the Three Idiots thing, that how beautifully Amir Khan is found some passion in whatever he is doing, and he is risen to the level of success that he, instead of just doing it for the sake of doing it or for the sake of your parents doing it, and if there is no passion in whatever you are doing, you are bound to fail. So all the recipes that the HR managers are going to give is fantastic, but from your side, you will also need to put in that passion to succeed, otherwise it's not going to work. So I leave it to the HR conclave leaders to guide you through the process, and also to you to internalize whatever they guide you. And thank Rungta Group for organizing such a fantastic opportunity for all of you, which you should be grateful for. Thank you very much.
Very good morning to one and all. The dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, my dear students. I feel privileged to propose vote of thanks for such a august gathering here, who makes you all to have a career tomorrow. For such a task, they have come here to express their views about how corporate level will be tomorrow for you. As it is told earlier to you all in the four walls of the classroom, what you learn is quite different than what you learn there in the corporate level. But these basics what you learn are must to cope up with level of corporate works. Anyway, at this juncture, seeing the people sitting on the dais are teaching you all in a very short period to know how the career corporate is going. I request all of you, when the speeches are given by different HR department companies and all, you should be aware of noting down yourself, what is that the future about, what we should be ready for getting such positions in different companies. So I extend welcome once more and putting thanks from our group of institutions to each and everyone on the dais for having come with their busy schedules even. Avoiding all such feeling like talking to the students is a primary work for them because they have to go with you tomorrow. So I thank one and all for having come here and enlightening the gathering here for the whole function. Thank you very much.
The award at World HRD Congress 2018. He brings unique combination of R&D, service delivery, and executive leadership experience across multiple industries like telecommunications, financial services, retail, and manufacturing. Arun sir joined Quinox from Capgemini, where he was the VP and right-shore head for the testing global services line. Arun sir was the Wipro Technologies for more than 14 years in various leadership positions before joining Capgemini. As Vice President and Joint Head of Testing Services Business Unit at Wipro, he was responsible for leading the service line with a team of more than 10,000 professionals. During his engineering college days, Arun sir developed a strong passion for research and development. This passion saw the young engineer passionately working on R&D projects for over 10 years at AT&T in USA, C-Dot and DCN Data Products. Arun sir believes that there is no end of learning. He did his BE Honours from RC Tiruchirappalli. Later he did his Masters in Marketing Management. He is currently pursuing his PhD. At Wipro, he did the General Management Program from IIMB in the year 2002 and Harvard Executive Management course as part of Capgemini, Harvard 2014. He is a regular speaker at many universities, colleges, and industry forums. Sir, we are eager to hear to your deliberations.
Thank you very much. And good morning, students. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
In the colleges, one thing you get a lot of is lectures. Do you want another lecture? Great, great. You know, I had my thoughts. I put something over here, and by the way, there's nothing to read on those slides. But my whole thought changed while Professor Edwin was driving me to this place. I saw what do you call it? He used Hindi over here. What is called those guys who work with iron. Luhar. In Luhar was hammering and trying to make from an iron piece, he was trying to make a big knife. And suddenly forced me to think about education system. Think about Chanakya, Guru Chanakya's school, thousands of years back, them producing students. The institutions always produce shaped individuals who cater to the needs of the society at that point of time. So if the schools and colleges are like a smithy shop where you pour the raw material in some form and a weapon comes out that is useful for the society. So think of that. Input material, students, something happens in those schools and colleges that transforms things, makes them into a weapon that gets used. Let's just look at security and safety and security in the society, and that is the only purpose. So Guru Chanakya's foundry produced very good swords and spears, right? At that point of time, that's what was needed. And soldiers, good soldiers who can use it. Come many years ahead, 1990, 2000, what was getting produced in that factory? Machine guns, guns, bullets, cluster bombs. Now suddenly there was no need to produce those swords. Maybe some were getting produced more for ceremonial purpose than anything else. But if the foundry had stayed the same that Chanakya had, it would have been useless. Because society did not need the swords and the spears. It needed the guns and rifles, light machine guns, cluster bombs, etc. You are with me? Yes. So the foundry had to change to produce guns. What about today? What do you think the foundry should produce today? Security and safety of the society. Only this consideration here. Any answers? Think about it. Now, let me give you an answer. The best way to destroy a society is to destroy the leader or put it a wrong leader. Correct? Yes. What happened in America? What did Russia do? I'm not making any statements over here, but you guys read about it? Did Russia, there's a say that Russia influenced the complete election. And Trump has become the president over there. What do you need the foundry to produce today? Not the LMGs, not the machine guns, not the cluster bombs, not the intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're deterrents. Now the foundry has changed. I gave you a hint of what the foundry needs to produce. Make sense? So this is something that I got from the Luhar shop that I saw saying, wow, this is where the role of the education institutions have changed. Now, when you go to a doctor, he does two things. He diagnoses and then recommends medicine. In the diagnosis or in the problem lies the solution. So my fellow HRD colleagues and students, and by the way, when I say human resource development, teachers, professors, lecturers, they're all part of the HRD community because they're all doing the same thing. Where you work on the students, you bring to a level, then the corporate HRD takes. So it's a brotherhood, it's a food chain that we have. So we are all part of the same community. Now, let me ask you a question. And here is the question. Any one of you, and have your mobile phone mics ready. Tell me one case, one example of something that you studied in the engineering class and use that in your real life to solve a problem. Any one of you. Just show me your hand if someone is there. At least ek haath to dikha do. Anything that you studied in the class and used it to solve a real life problem in your life. Go all the way to the end and देखो कोई तो mic ले ले. Okay, thank you. If it was a science, I know there are science students over here, BSc Agriculture class, if I ask them, show me something that you have done, you know what? They would have at least said that I learned what fertilizers to use or which seed to use. If it was an MBBS class, they would at least say that I know how to do first aid. Or in this particular case, when my brother was choking, I did blah, blah, blah. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with us? 6th semester, right? That is, 6 months into, 6th semester, 6 months. Nothing, not even one thing got used. Hold that thought with you. Okay? Hold that thought with you. Now, if I extend it, if you go and ask your mom and pop, Papa, Mummy, मुझे क्यों भेजा कॉलेज में? उनका आंसर बड़ा सिंपल होगा, बेटा रोजी रोटी कमाने के लिए. And रोजी रोटी कहाँ से आती है? पैसा से. How do you make money? You make money, and anybody MBA over here will know what I'm defining. Money comes from exchange of goods and services. You produce goods and services, give to someone else. That satisfies their need or want, and in turn they pay you the mudra, the money. Sadly, the question that I have over there, it shows that when you can't satisfy any need of yours using the knowledge that you have gained, how will you produce any good or service to satisfy someone else's need? See the problem? Diagnostics one. How many of you want a job? All of you, hands down. Okay. I'm going to seriously offer a job. But I'm going to tell you what challenges we face in the industry. I have been coming to this college for last 6 years or something like that, since you have been here, Professor Edwin. I have stood here and given lectures on what characteristics in the students, right, what you should work on to improve your personality so that you become very well accepted in the job market or in the industry. I was looking at my old lectures and said, man, these are so dated. They look like 20-year-old. All those things are wrong now. What is the current need? Let me try to define. But coming to the job, here is the problem that I'm facing with my team. Anybody who gives me a solution, and I'll give you time, a couple of minutes, will get a job, and I'm serious about it. I will offer it. I'll pay you for your services. Now, here is the problem. Think of a company which is in the seeds business, sells seeds. Now, demand and supply. When the supply is less, demand increases and the price goes up. These companies, think of chili. Chili is what I'm going to ask you. If the seed production is less, chili seeds sell for 60 to 80,000 per kg. The bad thing is, the seed selling company, I'm not going to name it, and this is the real problem. My team is working, in fact, they are in the fields today. The challenge is, seeds come in small packets. Those local retailers break the packet and mix something else and sell it to make money. When there is a high demand and low supply. The brand, of course, when they will not germinate, and hence the brand image of the company takes a hit, saying that, oh, this is very crowded. So here's the question, think about it, guys. How will you, and the seed is done on the contract manufacturing, right? Farmers will just grow those seeds in that area. I'm asking for a solution to forecast the amount of seeds which will be produced on a given cultivated area. How will you use technology to count, how to predict the number of seeds which will be produced? Case in point is the chili. So if you can think about satellite images, analysis on that, but sadly, the picture that I have over there is mirchi. Unfortunately, leaves on the top, mirchi is at the bottom. How will you do? Anybody who can give a solution? Okay, show me your hand. By the way, while you're thinking, I'll give you another problem. But this problem is really a job-seeking problem. A job-getting problem. Okay, think about it. Show me your hand. Mike will go to you. Let me give you another problem. And purposefully I pick up problems related to rural part of the world or India or world, so that I hope you have more empathy with these problems, you understand it better than anyone else. Rainy season, you get rain, and if it's an arid area, I don't know whether Raipur or Bhilai is an arid area or not, you have to make sure that as much water as possible goes inside the ground, in the orifice, and then in the summer you can pump it out to do your irrigation, right? Tube wells you use for that. You are clear with that concept, you guys know about it. Here is the problem. How do you measure the amount of water that has gone inside the ground so that you can predict in the summer, when there is no water, how much water you can pump out and accordingly plan your crops? This is again a real life problem. We have solved it anyhow. Okay? How do you do that? Now, let me stop over here. So, chili and groundwater. Any answers? And don't hesitate, huh? The more people laugh at you, the better is the answer. So, throw some answers if you have in your mind. Anybody? The first one, really, you have a job. Anyone? And even if you want to try it, I'm okay. You say, I don't want a job, but still I want to try. Anyone? Yes, there is one hand that has gone up in the very front. I thought the backbenchers are the smartest guys. That's why in the class the backbench goes first. Go ahead, let me hear. Let's hear. And also guys, I'm doing an experiment here.
So the whole area is calculated by the farmers. So that whole area is divided into sectors. If we calculate the total seeds on that particular sector and the amount of seeds which we are getting from that particular sector, then we will directly calculate the total amount of seeds produced by that particular area.
Good. Think of the area to be 20 acres. Go ahead. Go deep dive into it. Put some algorithms, think about it. How will you put? And guys, there is no wrong answer. And this is the experiment going on right now. Think about it. How will you do? How will you count? What you said is, if I know for a unit area, I can multiply with the total area and find it out. How will you, in an automated way, find the number of chilies, let's not talk about seeds, in that area? Something, anything that comes to your mind.
So by using the same formula, likewise, the whole area again will divide in sectors or somewhat particular area.
Okay, let me make it simple. 1 square feet. How will you find number of seeds in that, number of chilies in that 1 square feet area?
So by that approximation, that one chili is getting this number of seeds, then that.
How will you count the number of chilies in that area? Tree is there, the plant is, oh, where is the plant? That plant is there. How will you find out how many chilies are there? I'm not putting on the spot, but guys, all of you, try to empathize with her. What's your name?
Diksha.
Diksha, great. I appreciate your courage. Okay? Do you want to try? Any thoughts, anyone else? Guys, simple. At least throw some simple things. Okay, or I'll end my experiment here. Anyone else? Groundwater, any idea? And I told we have already solved that problem, so there is a problem. There is a solution that is. Okay. Thank you very much. So guys, you had an offer. One question and you had a job offer in your hand, and I was serious about it. You missed it. Okay? And the point I was trying to make it is, this is what the industry is facing. This is what I am facing. From financial services I could have brought. We need solutions. You have to give solution. When I face the client, my team faces the client, and this chili thing is real. Okay? Think about image recognition using artificial intelligence. Think about two-dimensional image. Because from the top, and I could see Saurabh had the answer. He was telling me how to do it. Unfortunately, he can give job. He is not interested in giving job. Think about it. This is what the industry needs. 6 years back here I talked about new programming language, Python, etc. You should know. I'm not talking about that anymore. You can learn Python in 2-3 hours, correct? And then YouTube videos now. How will you solve these problems? And this problem? These are the needs of the industry. Are you ready for it? The question is, how will you become ready for it? Now, let me take deeper into the analysis of the problem. This is the old thing that I presented over here. This whole market for information technology is defined by 3 entities. People, business, and things. People are both those of you who provide the service and those who consume the service. Business process is by mechanism by which service or product gets delivered. And things are? What are things? Any idea? Things are IoT devices, AI, entities. Any interaction between two creates a business. Creates an exchange of goods and services, hence money. People interacting with business, you going and buying something, whether it's on the footpath you buy the aloo, or on Amazon you buy the digital electronic things. Okay? Things. So how many of you have any health brand or something like this? Show me your hand. Quite a few of you. Okay. Okay. This is a thing continuously monitoring you. Okay. Smart houses, I have talked about smart fridge, where in future, you will not have to buy the fridge. Some company will give you the fridge, please take my fridge and keep it in your house. Right? In the fridge there is a small compartment to fit in there different things. Milk compartment, atta compartment, it shows my knowledge of kitchen. What else? Tomato compartment, whatever goes in the fridge that you guys know. Compartments would be there. You consume fridge as you reach a critical limit of consumption. Fridge will tell the retailer who put the fridge there that hey, they have run out of these things. They will come and refill. And you don't pay for it because automatic payment happens. Fridge is thing, IoT devices are inbuilt into it. Okay? So this is, you can use this as a reference model to define any business. This was interaction between people and things that led to business, right? Now, this is another old slide that I presented here. Of course, you would not have been there at that time. If you look at how evolution of business has happened, okay, I'm giving another perspective of our needs, industry speak. So in 2000, web came, and what happened? It was a people thing. You started going on the web, you started email exchanges. In between 2000 and 2005, e-business came. Okay, when people and business came together, suddenly technology brought people and business together. Online ordering started happening. 5 to 15 is when digital marketing started happening. Go to Amazon, search for something. Within no time, you start getting recommendations for what you should buy or what you're looking for. Quite often, you end up buying from the recommendations and what you're looking for. Correct? In elections, like I talked about Donald Trump, the complete marketing or mismarketing or biased marketing, whatever you want to call it, that they say Russia controlled, happened digitally. Facebook data was used to find out. In fact, there's a good case study on Gujarat elections. I should not talk more about it, but if you go online, you'll find out about how, the same firm that worked for Trump was used in India to do the digital marketing, to design the messages and strategic planning. You guys should look at that. So anyhow, the fact is that's a digital marketing. 15 to 20 is digital business. There are companies which do not exist in brick and mortar form. They only exist in the ether. People, business, and the things have come together. Okay? The future is what I call algorithms. Forget the business, algorithmic business. Algorithms. So what comes together is people, business, the things, and AI. So actually I have overlapped, it's not coming up. Smart machines. Artificial intelligence is nothing but a part of things. They come together. There's a reason I'm telling you this story. Because if this is the business world that the industry we all come from caters to, what is your role? Your role is going to be in that area. Okay, so we have to finish for some time. Digest this fact. Your role is going to be in that last area. Sadly, you see there is no technology over there. I'm not talking programming languages or anything else. I'm talking about people. Do you understand people? Do you understand consumers? I'm talking business processes. IoT. IoT, maybe you can call it a technology, but it's more than a technology if you know the Internet of Things. Okay? And artificial intelligence that leverages IoT. And does any of this sound familiar to you? They should sound familiar to you. Because this is your future. Now, this was one perspective. Let me take another perspective. You may ask, Arun, tell me the trends that will change the world. Okay? If they are going to change the world 5 years from now, maybe we should start working on them now so that we are ready. Do you want to know top 10 technology happenings which will change the world? Okay. And this is from MIT. So let me pick up one by one. Sitting over here about a couple of years back, I talked about 3D printing. Right? It remained in the labs, a lot of printing happened, dental, etc. that I see, the teeth getting printed. But now, seriously, it has entered metal printing. You have printers available, metal printers available for $100K, $100K, $100,000 commercially available. You can print things using them. Otherwise, they were in lab, only NASA was using, etc. Now they are coming out. You know what it means? For a manufacturing plant, there is no need to have just-in-time supply, which was the best thing, or big warehouse. Michelin is here, they will realize that, or any manufacturer. In your factory, based upon the consumption, you keep on printing. Same printer can give you different type of metal parts. Rubber was anyhow already there, metal was a difficult one, that has come. Localized printing can happen, so the transportation cost of the parts are gone. Anyhow, you guys extrapolate the logic. So that's 3D metal printing. Artificial embryos. This is a strange thing. Scientists took from the mouse umbilical cord, the mouse, one cell, and they were read that cell multiplied in this environment, and they watched in an amazing way how the live mouse did not get reduced, but the whole cell started growing and it was having the same form as the mouse. Artificial embryos. Your one cell, no need of sperm, no need of egg. One cell would be used to create the whole being. Future of reproduction. Now, this is a hugely controversial thing. Hugely controversial. Ethical issues, religious, there are so many issues. But this is science. It is happening. Okay, wait for some years. The painful process of childbirth, 9 months of carrying and then the painful childbirth, it may not be there. One cell, artificial embryo, you have the kid. Kid who is disease free. Now I'm not going deeper into it, but this is reality. Okay? And this is totally different. This is, you remember, everything is happening outside the body, but for that one cell that got picked. And scientists are working on this unique ability of the cell, which is coded in the genome, that it knows exactly how to multiply. Not replicate itself. But it's like 3D printers, you tell them what to build, somehow in the cell the instruction is there about how to recreate a new being from one cell. That's the reality. Smart sensing cities. India, we are building a lot of smart cities. There is no problem with that. Most of the smart cities in the world, they had an overrun of the cost. Quite often, they were compromised during development process because it was not envisaged what exactly is needed. Now what is happening, Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, they have adopted few cities. They are putting sensors all across the city to measure different parameters, traffic, pollution, movement, people living. They're using that data to create a model of the future city. Hence, in the planning of the smart city, the data from the current city is gone. Artificial intelligence would create or would design the future city. Future city will get implemented now, the smart city. And couple of concepts of that. The mundane jobs like mail delivery or package delivery would happen through conduits where the robots will move. You don't have to be on the top to do it. They'll keep on moving and doing the job. Pop up wherever you have to deliver something. There's a lot more, you guys can read about it. Now, This is how smart cities will get developed. Now some of you may be afraid saying, oh my God, artificial intelligence, that means in a way robots are going to design my cities where I will live. Hold that thought, but this is reality. Be afraid if you want to be, or be excited if you want to be. Artificial intelligence, how many of you, all of you have some idea about it. How many of you really know what artificial intelligence is? Show me some hands. Excellent, no one knows, very good, because you don't have to know. Artificial intelligence and use of it has become so easy that you don't have to really understand artificial intelligence. Google TensorFlow, have you guys heard of TensorFlow? Show me some hands if you know. Okay, good. What is it? AI APIs, use it. Glow, Microsoft. Now the beauty is, this is what the future trend is. AI has come onto cloud and it's available through APIs to anybody and everybody. You can do any modeling you want, and I suggest some of you in your lab start using it. It's so easy. I have started using it. I left programming 15 years back, but I just started using it because there is no programming in it. So, artificial intelligence for everybody. Next 3 years you will find any programming you do, this thing would be there. You will be using it. Now, there are a lot of inherent things. AI needs data. Huge amount. The more data, the better is the artificial intelligence, the learning part. But let me not go deeper into it. Something that would interest, neural networks. How many of you heard about this? Okay, good. I see some hands. Very good. You know what is neural networks? Neural is fighting with each other. Now, let me scare you. And this is real. Artificial intelligence learns from the data, right? You give it data, so for example, you give it images of people crossing the road, right? It will analyze that, and whenever it sees an image, some image randomly, it will say, these are people crossing the road. Because it has seen hundreds of images of people crossing the road. It learns from the data. Okay? Now, neural network is fighting. Neural network. Think of two robots. First one has been given the data. So the idea is, first robo is called seeder, someone who implants the idea. Other one is called discriminator. So this guy will, let's say, give an image. It will print an image of people crossing the street. This guy is supposed to say whether this is a real picture or not. Now the seeder, what it will do is it will take a real picture, because it cannot create on its own today, and modify it, cheat. So for example, it will put one extra hand on one person. This one, the discriminator robo, is supposed to find out that it has cheated. First iteration it will find out, say, hey, you cheated. See, this is the wrong one. Now first robo, the seeder, it will learn from the mistake, saying, that guy could find my flaw or cheating this way, let me improve. Soon the seeder will become so good that it will make sure that the discriminator fails. This is artificial intelligence and robotics. You see where it's going? You can create currencies. I'll leave it over there. This is real. It's happening. This is the trend. And they are all relevant. Within next 5 years, next 3 years, they are already real now. Next 3 years, they will be in the field, and we will be facing the problem as industry leaders to do something with them. 5, let me give you 5 more. And Professor, please stop me. Zero carbon natural gas. You know, whenever natural gas is burned, most of the energy today is produced by that. There is a CO2 that gets produced. Though it's much less than the coal, but still it gets produced. Now, there are new technologies which have come, which take the CO2, they take it through the high temperature and pressure, and it becomes something what's called a supercritical state. It goes to the supercritical state, it flows, and from that flow turbines are moved, and finally you get solidified form of CO2. So this whole process, there is no emission of CO2, but at the end you have got some CO2 in the solid form. The question that comes right now is what to do with that. But rest of it has become clean. This is happening in Texas right now. Now, if this is true, then every house, small generation units could be put up instead of these big transmissions that happen. Okay? So this is a new technology that's coming up. Perfecting online privacy. Let me talk to the only students, not the friends. You go to a bar, think of the school and you went to the bar, and you have to show your ID card, right? To prove that you are above 18. Some of you look younger, right? The whole detail is there. Go to hotel to check in with your friend. Go to your ID cards, or whatever identity cards are scanned and kept there. You don't like it. Imagine proving that you are above 18 without giving all the details. How nice would that be? Correct? I can see the smile, but no hands. Huh? Okay, understand. This is what this is all about. Read more. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just speeding up things. These Babelfish earbuds. Earbuds in your ear you put, and this comes from a movie. Guardians of the Galaxy or some movie like that. You put it, what they do today, and they're available. Pixel buds they are called. How many of you have used it, Pixel buds? Okay. They provide language translation. So I speak, so Professor Edwin will speak in Tamil on that. I will hear in Hindi in my ears. I will speak in French, let's say, and he will hear it in English. So any to any language translation. This function was there in the phone, now it has come onto the earbuds. Those earbuds are ugly. They look bad. But hey, that's the artist, right? Tomorrow they will make it beautiful and better. Impact of that, think about business, think about travel. Now suddenly the whole world, irrespective of the language spoken, has become one. Think about the software changes, if at all required, in any banks or any other company. That's a major change. Language will remain no more a barrier. Okay, material quantum leap, let me leave the other two because it's becoming too much. So these are the trends. Are you ready for it? These trends is what all my colleagues sitting over here, all the companies that we come from, the whole Indian, or not Indian, global IT industry will be working on. Are we ready for it? Are you ready for it? तब तो प्रॉब्लम है और हमें प्रॉब्लम है बिकॉज कस्टमर के सामने हम रहते हैं, कस्टमर हमसे कहता है कि करना है और हम ऐसे सीनियर लीडर बोलते हैं हाँ कर देंगे, उसके बाद वापस आकर के we look at our resource pool and we go to our recruitment and other stuff, right? And then the problem starts. We fail. Okay, so now that we have seen what industry needs is solutioning. The first question that I had, they do not need a programmer. This is a big change that has happened. Remember the questions I asked. How do you find the chili seeds or chilies? How do you find the amount of water? How do you find fraud? How do you predict that the car is going to go and hit that other car and hence stop it? How do you? Solutioning capability. Indian IT industry today, and almost 100% of Indian IT industry in about 3 years' time would be solving problems, not taking orders and code fixing and doing testing. It's gone. It will be there. Okay? But all that would get automated using robotic process automation. Call center jobs would be gone. Robotic process automation. Alexa is beautiful. Alexa is wonderful. Alexa will do everything. Problem solving. Solutioning. That was point number 1. Second thing I said is, how should you look into the universe? People, business, things. Any interaction of that will define the future. And I gave you all these examples you have seen. People, business and things interacting in this. You have to be ready for it. Now, having brought up all the problems, let me try to summarize it. The career pillar, I call it. Sometime back I came here 6 years back or so, I said house, career house. What is it that you should have? Foundation, pillars and roof to define your career. It was people aspect, communication, etc. I'm not going to talk about that because I know that you know it. I know that Saurabh and team has institutionalized a lot of those trainings over here to develop those soft skills and other skills. Let's look from another angle today. Okay guys, so this is the career pillar. It's made up of, this pillar gets built up in 4 stages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about what's written on the right hand side. This is previous version before I did the cleanup of the deck. The 4 layers are, number 1 is basic science. Are your science fundamentals clear? To count the chili, you have to go to fundamentals of the biology, also the fundamentals of image processing, bits, how images are stored, CCD, charge coupled devices, etc., etc. Basic science you have to go to. That's the fundamental thing. Okay? Anyhow, you say without that you can't do engineering. So basic science fundamentals should be clear. This was not required 5 years back. If you knew C programming, Java programming, that was good. You would have got selected. But today, when I'm recruiting, I have to have this because my problems are not Java or C problems, or C++ problems, or Unix problems. Like I said, my problems are real world problems. Use any damn technology you require to solve it. Your science should be basic science. Physics, chemistry, biology. Okay? Your 12th you should have done good, and first year, second year, chemistry, mathematics and physics. Everything becomes so relevant now. Second layer is what? Basic engineering layer. Fundamentals of engineering, measurements, principles. Okay? And interesting enough, sometime back I used to talk about circuit branch. I don't talk it anymore. Because most of the solutions require a collaboration between civil engineers. Mechanical engineering has become so important with Internet of Things. At the end of the day, what is Internet of Things? There has to be one transducer, a mechanical device more often than not, that's measuring something. It picks up the data and then using some protocol is sent to the gateway. That last part is mechanical. There is a huge collaboration across the fields. Chemical, mechanical, civil. Okay, the fundamental ones. So basic engineering is the second layer, built on top of science. Now the third one, this will become unfamiliar to you. What is engineering? What is technology? Technology is use of, what is the definition? You guys are doing B.Tech, Bachelor of Technology, right? What is technology? Use of science to solve exactly any real world problem. Business is nothing but real world issues, right? Transactions are happening. Technology should solve, may improve the efficiency or effectiveness or create new type of business. Without that business knowledge, technology is useless. Medical, there's a business that's happening. Hospitals are in business. Everything is a business. Technology supports business. If you are stuck at the technology level, you are just a worker. If you are at the business layer, you are a thinker. At the business layer, you create the solutions. Technology just comes in. Technology implements the solution. At the business layer, you create the solution. Are you with me? You understand the importance of business now. And on the top, I'm going to say something that all these are useless. 3 layers. This is the disruptive, innovative layer. You must think something that will disrupt the complete business. So let me say, Saurabh ji was running a bank here. He was in banking business. Okay, he had a beautiful big building with marble floors where people came and put their money or took the money. And he made money on every transaction. That's what happened. That's what the banks do. I wanted to disrupt it. I had no money. I had no building. How would I disrupt? I wanted to disrupt his whole business. To take away all the business he was doing. Yeah, go ahead. E-banking, great. I'll start in 60 days. I'll use Domino's, a company. They will set up a model bank in 30 days on the ether, cloud somewhere. Zero banking I'll give because I have no cost. He has a cost. Every liability of his, I'll convert into asset of mine. People don't have to go to his bank. Sitting at the home, they can do it. This is disruptive. Only thing is, what I described is 10-year-old thing. This has already happened. How will you disrupt Uber? How will you disrupt Airbnb? That's what my customers are asking. Let me give you an example, and if you're putting on YouTube, search out this part of it, right? Again, I'll give you a practical example. Eureka folks, EFL, they are the leaders in water purifiers. The challenge we have, and we are the IT partner for them, complete IT. The challenge they have is, how do I thwart away the challenge from the Chinese producers, okay, and retain our number one position. Now, is this a technical problem? And we are supposed to solve it. Again, another example of the business layer problem. By the way, slightly going deeper into it so that you guys understand. Please purge it out. This is not to be discussed outside this room. You know, the biggest business in water purifier is not selling the purifier. Actually, they can give it for free. The real money comes from those candles. Every 6 months you have to change. And this, when you have to change it, the guy who comes to service guy, to your mom, to your wife, he'll give offer. Madam, ये कैंडल 3,500 रुपए का है, लेकिन देखिए एकदम वैसा ही कैंडल है, कुछ भी डिफरेंट नहीं, देखो दिखाएगा भी, ये सिर्फ 700 रुपए का है, कौन सा लगाऊं? Second. Despite knowing that where I'm going, all of you say second wala. Exactly. And that candle is made in China. Eureka folks का business गया. They were losing big time. They asked for a solution. You know what we did? Put an IoT in the candle. Now candle will say that it is spoiling the life. Candle calls and the machine calls the center saying, I have expired, my life is going to expire in 15 days. Instead of customer calling, कि भैया मेरा candle replace कर दो नहीं हुआ. Now the calls from the service center, you get a call saying, hey, your candle is going to expire. Please get it serviced. And now when the serviceman goes, when he puts the candle, if it's a wrong candle, service center gets a notice. You see, IoT. This is something, by the way, we have put in what they call Genius series. This has been put. Okay, this whole thing is out. Let's not go in. Guys, that's the problem that we in the industry are facing. Those are the type of solutions we have to come out with. Okay? Now, alternate thinking, okay, is what I was talking about. If something is going very good, figure out how to disrupt it. It's expected from you, and you, the fresher community, are most apt at doing it. Because you do not carry the legacy of thinking in the way that we have been thinking in the industry, having been there for 30 years, 20 years. Start thinking. Disrupt. Uber ko kaise rokoge? How do you stop Uber? Now, so are you guys with me that these are the 4 things?
Yes.
Now I will come back to the reality. Okay? It's a sad reality. Don't hate me for that. Colleges क्या कर रहे हैं? At each layer. So let's go to layer 1, base science. So whatever you see in granite is solid thing that you've got. School and college have given you sufficient science background, right? I have not put a percentage purposefully. I leave it to your interpretation what it is, because data is will be a bit controversial. 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever, depending upon the school and college you have come from. If science is good, that gap is what will define who's the winner and who's the loser. So if you have personally bridged all the gap, your fundamentals are good, believe me, just on the basis of this, you are a winner. You will be the leader in the industry. Just based on this science. Base engineering. Quite often we ask, क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं classroom में? इसका तो कोई use नहीं है. Like my first question, right? You learned and you used at home. Zero. But believe me, the base engineering is really solid in India. Basic engineering that you learn, principles. Your understanding of how transistor works, how gates get formed, I'm talking digital electronics here, right? Is so solid thanks to the education system that you have. Okay? You may not realize it, but when you enter deeper, you say, so I would give credit to the colleges saying, basic engineering 80 to 90% you are there. Unfortunately, industry needs more than that, right? Where are you with respect to business process? 5%, 10%, even less. And the reason I put something, it could have been zero. And remember, what industry needs is solutioning. Solution needs understanding of the problem and the business flow. This is where the problem is. Use cases. You live in the society, but you are not seeing what are the problems in the society. All of you know banking. Who does not have a banking account here? Show me your hand. Do you understand how retail banking works? How many of you have mobile phones here? Okay, don't show me your hands. Do you know how it works? Do you really know how it works? Exactly. Who will teach you that? Don't ask. See, I think professors and lecturers have done their job. They will look from their angle about how to fill the white gap, white areas. But this is your biggest problem area if you ask me. Suddenly you'll find I'm not copying technology here. This is important. Believe me, anybody from this group that's sitting over there, from a HCM, Human Capital Management Group of different companies, when they come and you talk about business process, you will be selected. You'll be outstanding. Because others will be talking, I have done interrupt processing on 8085, which was buried in ground 20 years back. Okay, they will be talking, I know C++, I know Python. Great. So does everybody else. Business process. Understood this one? And the last thing is alternate thinking, disruptive thinking, innovative thinking. Again, I wanted to show some granite there, otherwise it will totally empty, so I put something there. This is the weakness of all of us Indians, including me, everybody sitting here. We are so compliant to the culture. We have a compliant culture. सौरभ सर ने कहा बैठ जाओ तो बैठ जाएंगे. ये भी सोच कि क्यों कहा बैठने के लिए. और तब तक बैठे रहेंगे तो बोला नहीं उठ जाओ. Compliant. Compliant, by definition in psychology, is you are not happy with the situation. Otherwise, it will be submission. भगवान के पास जाके you become so good, you will be sitting there for a whole day happily. In the school, when someone says sit down, you are sitting the same thing, but you are unhappy. As a culture, society, we are compliant. That means we are unhappy. Compliance kills alternate thinking. This is the biggest need in the industry. All my clients, and I keep on traveling, Professor Edwin was talking about that, I've been traveling, literally I've been with my clients. If no one is asking me, Arun, are you guys good at programming? Are you good at testing? Are you good at architecture? We are from India, we are good at that. It's a granted. Now they're throwing problems at me, like the problem I said. I gave over there. 2, 3, there are many. I need alternate thinking. I need people with alternate thinking. And as a funny, I was sharing with some of the professors of yours, some of the brightest ideas have come from my freshers. So we have 3 months plus 3 months of training for everybody, anybody who enters. And from selected few get entry into what we call team mechanics. where we provide everything, we do whatever you want to do in the research area. So, very creative ideas like use of Alexa for customer service, route optimization came from the freshers. Okay, so if you think that I am a fresher who I go 6th sem, how can I do it? Think again. You are the best suited because you don't have any legacy to carry. Okay, but your focus, first 2 layers, you have to do it, is hygiene. If you don't do it, you will not pass the exams and you need the degree. But the other 2 top layers is what the industry needs, and you each and every one of you, if you work on that area, you will excel. And it's so easy to do that. How many of you know YouTube or watch anything on YouTube? Oh, don't throw your hands. All of these are available as training material on YouTube or Coursera and other, either free or paid for nothing, almost nothing type of payment you do when you do the courses. Okay? Having said that, this is where I like to conclude, but before that, let me put some starting fact, right? And this is from the data. From all the students who come out of India, thanks to this depiction that I have on the left-hand side, only 18.43% out of every 100, only about 18.5 are suitable for software engineering jobs. And that includes everything in software engineering. Out of that, for the core engineering work, IoT, protocol development, etc., is 7.49, 7.5 people. Out of that, day one, I take the person, put onto the job. That we'll all love to do. My colleagues sitting here from industry would love to do. You come from campus, start working. Only 3.95% fall in that category. Out of all who come out of the college, and this is heavily biased towards cities. Some places, some regions have more than others, but this is the average. Now guys, you want to be in that 3.9, let's say 4%, right? And what I have given you the formula on the left-hand side of how you could be there. Good luck to you. Thank you.
The award at World HRD Congress 2018. He brings unique combination of R&D, service delivery, and executive leadership experience across multiple industries like telecommunications, financial services, retail, and manufacturing. Arun sir joined Quinox from Capgemini, where he was the VP and right-shore head for the testing global services line. Arun sir was the Wipro Technologies for more than 14 years in various leadership positions before joining Capgemini. As Vice President and Joint Head of Testing Services Business Unit at Wipro, he was responsible for leading the service line with a team of more than 10,000 professionals. During his engineering college days, Arun sir developed a strong passion for research and development. This passion saw the young engineer passionately working on R&D projects for over 10 years at AT&T in USA, CDOT and DCN Data Products. Arun sir believes that there is no end of learning. He did his BE Honours from RC Tiruchirappalli. Later he did his Masters in Marketing Management. He is currently pursuing his PhD. At Wipro, he did the General Management Program from IIMB in the year 2002 and Harvard Executive Management course as part of Capgemini, Harvard 2014. He is a regular speaker at many universities, colleges, and industry forums. Sir, we are eager to hear to your deliberations.
Thank you very much. And good morning, still. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
In the colleges, one thing you get a lot of is lectures. Do you want another lecture? Great, great. You know, I had my thoughts, I put something over here, and by the way, there's nothing to read on those slides. But my whole thought changed while Professor Edwin was driving me to this place. I saw, what do you call it, use Hindi over here, what is called, those guys who work with iron, luhar. In luhar was hammering and trying to make from an iron piece, he was trying to make a big knife. And suddenly, forced me to think about education system. Think about Chanakya, Guru Chanakya's school, thousands of years back, them producing students. The institutions always produce shaped individuals who cater to the needs of the society at that point of time. So if the schools and colleges are like a smithy shop where you pour the raw material in some form and a weapon comes out that is useful for the society. So think of that. Input material, students, something happens in those schools and colleges that transforms things, makes them into a weapon that gets used. Let's just look at security and safety and security in the society, and that is the only purpose. So Guru Chanakya's foundry produced very good swords and spears, right? At that point of time, that's what was needed. And soldiers, good soldiers who can use it. Come many years ahead, 1990, 2000, what was getting produced in that factory? Machine guns, bullets, cluster bombs. Now suddenly there was no need to produce those swords. Maybe some were getting produced more for ceremonial purpose than anything else. But if the foundry had stayed the same that Chanakya had, it would have been useless. Because society did not need the swords and the spears. It needed the guns and rifles, light machine guns, cluster bombs, etc. You are with me? Yes. So the foundry had to change to produce guns. What about today? What do you think the foundry should produce today? Security and safety of the society. Only this consideration here. Any answers? Think about it. Now, let me give you an answer. The best way to destroy a society is to destroy the leader or put it a wrong leader. Correct? Yes. What happened in America? What did Russia do? I'm not saying, making any statements over here, but you guys read about it? Did Russia, there's a say that Russia influenced the complete election. And Trump has become the president over there. What do you need the foundry to produce today? Not the LMGs, not the machine guns, not the cluster bombs, not the intercontinental ballistic missiles. They are deterrents. Now the foundry has changed. I gave you a hint of what the foundry needs to produce. Make sense? So this is something that I got from the luhar shop that I saw saying, wow, this is where the role of the education institutions have changed. Now, when you go to a doctor, he does two things. He diagnoses and then recommends medicine. In the diagnosis or in the problem lies the solution. So my fellow HRD colleagues and students, and by the way, when I say human resource development, teachers, professors, lecturers, they are all part of the HRD community because they are all doing the same thing. Where you work on the students, you bring to a level, then the corporate HRD takes. So it's a brotherhood, it's a food chain that we have. So we are all part of the same community. Now, let me ask you a question. And here is the question. Any one of you, and have your mobile phone mics ready. Tell me one case, one example of something that you studied in the engineering class and use that in your real life to solve a problem. Any one of you? Just show me your hand if someone is there. Arey yaar, at least ek haath to dikha do. Anything that you studied in the class and used it to solve a real life problem in your life. Go all the way to the end and देखो कोई तो mic ले ले. Okay, thank you. If it was a science, I know there are science students over here, BSc Agriculture class, if I had asked them, show me something that you have done, you know what? They would have at least said that I learned what fertilizers to use or which seed to use. If it was an MBBS class, they would at least say that I know how to do first aid. Or in this particular case, when my brother was choking, I did blah blah blah. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with us? 6th semester, right? That is, 6 months into, 6 semesters, 6 months. Nothing, not even one thing got used. Hold that thought with you. Okay? Hold that thought with you. Now, if I extend it, if you go and ask your mom and papa, Papa, Mummy, मुझे क्यों भेजा college में? उनका आंसर का सिंपल होगा, बेटा रोजी रोटी कमाने के लिए. And रोजी रोटी कहाँ से आती है? पैसा से. How do you make money? You make money, and all my anybody MBA over here will know what I'm defining. Money comes from exchange of goods and services. You produce goods and services, give to someone else. That satisfies their need or want, and in turn they pay you the mudra, the money. Sadly, the question that I have over there, it shows that when you can't satisfy any need of yours using the knowledge that you have gained, how will you produce any good or service to satisfy someone else's need? See the problem? Diagnostics one. How many of you want a job? All of you, hands down. Okay. I'm going to seriously offer a job. But I'm going to tell you what challenges we face in the industry. I have been coming to this college for last 6 years or something like that, since you have been here, Professor Edwin. I have stood here and given lectures on what characteristics in the students, right? What you should work on to improve your personality so that you become very well accepted in the job market or in the industry. I was looking at my old lectures and said, man, this is so dated. They look like 20-year-old. All those things are wrong now. What is the current need? Let me try to define. But coming to the job, here is the problem that I'm facing with my team. Anybody who gives me a solution, and I'll give you time, a couple of minutes, will get a job, and I'm serious about it. I will offer it. I'll pay you for your services. Now, here is the problem. Think of a company which is in the seeds business, sells seeds. Now, demand and supply. When the supply is less, demand increases and the price goes up. These companies, think of chili. Chili is what I'm going to ask you. If the seed production is less, chili seeds sell for 60 to 80,000 per kg. The bad thing is, the seed selling company, I'm not going to name it, and this is the real problem. My team is working, in fact, they are in the fields today. The challenge is, seeds come in small packets. Those local retailers break a packet and mix something else and sell it to make money. When there is a high demand and low supply. The brand, of course, when they will not germinate, and hence the brand image of the company takes a hit, saying that, oh, this is very crowded. Here's the question, think about it, guys. How will you, and the seed is done on the contract manufacturing, right? Farmers will just grow those seeds in that area. I'm asking for a solution to forecast the amount of seeds which will be produced on a given cultivated area. How will you use technology to count, how to predict the number of seeds which will be produced? Case point is a chili. So if you think about satellite images, analysis on that, but sadly, the picture that I have over there is mirchi. Unfortunately, leaves are on the top, mirchi is at the bottom. How will you do? Anybody who can give a solution? Okay, show me your hand. By the way, while you're thinking, I'll give you another problem, but this problem is really a job-seeking problem, a job-getting problem. Okay, think about it. Show me your hand. Mike will go to you. Let me give you another problem. And I purposefully I pick up problems related to rural part of the world or India or world, so that I hope you have more empathy with these problems. You understand it better than anyone else. You know, rainy season, you get rain, and if it's an arid area, I don't know whether Raipur or Bhilai is an arid area or not. You know, you have to make sure that as much water as possible goes inside the ground, in the orifice, and then in the summer you can pump it out to do your irrigation, right? Few wells you use for that. You are clear with that concept, you guys know about it. Here is the problem. How do you measure the amount of water that has gone inside the ground so that you can predict in the summer, when there is no water, how much water you can pump out and accordingly plan your crops? This is again a real life problem. We solved it anyhow. Okay? How do you do that? Now, let me stop over here. So, chili and groundwater. Any answers? And don't hesitate, huh? The more people laugh at you, the better is the answer. So, throw some answers if you have in your mind. Anybody? The first one, really, you have a job. Anyone? And even if you want to try it, I'm okay. You say, I don't want a job, but still I want to try. Anyone? Yes, there is one hand that has gone up for in the very front. I thought the backbenchers are the smartest guys. That's why in the class the backbench goes first. Go ahead, let me hear. Let's hear. And also, guys, I'm doing an experiment here.
So the whole area is calculated by the farmers. So that whole area is divided into sectors. If we calculate the total chilies on that particular sector and the amount of chilies which we are getting from that particular sector, then we will directly calculate the total amount of seeds produced by that particular area.
Good. Think of the area to be 20 acres. Go ahead. Go deep dive into it. Put some algorithms, think about it. How will you put? And guys, there is no wrong answer. And this is an experiment going on right now. Think about it. How will you do? How will you count? What you said is, if I know for a unit area, I can multiply with the total area and find it out. How will you, in an automated way, find the number of chilies, let's not talk about seeds, in that area? Something, anything that comes to your mind.
So by using the same formula, likewise, the whole area again will divide in sectors or somewhat particular area.
Okay, let me make it simple. 1 square feet. How will you find the number of seeds in that, number of chilies in that 1 square feet area?
So by that approximation, the one chili is getting this number of seeds, then that.
How will you count the number of chilies in that area? Tree is there, the plant is, where is the plant? That plant is there. How will you find out how many chilies are there? I'm not putting on the spot, but guys, all of you, try to empathize with her. What's your name?
Diksha.
Diksha, great. I appreciate your courage. Okay? Do you want to try? Any thoughts, anyone else? Guys, simple. At least throw some simple things. Okay, or I'll end my experiment here. Anyone else? Groundwater, any idea? And I told you we have already solved that problem, so there is a problem. There is a solution that is. Okay. Thank you very much. So guys, you had an offer. One question and you had a job offer in your hand, and I was serious about it. You missed it. Okay? And the point I was trying to make it is, this is what the industry is facing. This is what I am facing. From financial services I could have brought. We need solutions. You have to give solution. When I face the client, my team faces the client, and this chilly thing is real. Okay? Think about image recognition using artificial intelligence. Think about two-dimensional image. Because from the top, and I could see Saurabh had the answer. He was telling me how to do it. Unfortunately, he can give job. He is not interested in giving job. Think about it. This is what the industry needs. 6 years back, here I talked about new programming language, Python, etc. You should know. I'm not talking about that anymore. You can learn Python in 2-3 hours, correct? And then YouTube videos now. How will you solve these problems? And this problem? These are the needs of the industry. Are you ready for it? The question is, how will you become ready for it? Now, let me take deeper into the analysis of the problem. This is the old thing that I presented over here. This whole market for information technology is defined by 3 entities: people, business, and things. People are both those of you who provide the service and those who consume the service. Business processes by mechanism by which service or product gets delivered. And things are? What are things? Any idea? Things are IoT devices, AI, entities. Any interaction between two creates a business. Creates an exchange of goods and services, hence money. People interacting with business, you going and buying something, whether it's on the footpath you buy the aloo, or on Amazon you buy the digital electronic things. Okay? Things. So how many of you have any health plan or something like this? Show me your hand. Quite a few of you. Okay. Okay. This is a thing continuously monitoring you. Okay. Smart houses, I have talked about smart fridge, where in future, you will not have to buy the fridge. Some company will give you the fridge. Please take my fridge and keep it in your house. Right? In the fridge there is a small compartment to fit in there different things. Milk compartment, atta compartment. It shows my knowledge of kitchen. What else? Tomato compartment. Whatever goes in the fridge that you guys know. Compartments would be there. You consume fridge as you reach a critical limit of consumption. Fridge will tell the retailer who put the fridge there that hey, they have run out of these things. They will come and refill. And you don't pay for it because automatic payment happens. Fridge is thing, IoT devices are inbuilt into it. Okay, so this is, you can use this as a reference model to define any business. This was interaction between people and things that led to business, right? Now, this is another old slide that I presented here. Of course, you would not have been there at that time. If you look at how evolution of business has happened, okay, I'm giving another perspective of our needs, industry's needs. So in 2000, web came, and what happened? It was a people thing. You started going on the web, you started email exchanges. In between 2000 and 2005, e-business came. Okay, when people and business came together, suddenly technology brought people and business together. Online ordering started happening. 5 to 15 is when digital marketing started happening. Go to Amazon, search for something, within no time you start getting recommendations for what you should buy or what you're looking for. Quite often you end up buying from the recommendations and what you're looking for. Correct? In elections, like I talked about Donald Trump, the complete marketing or mismarketing or biased marketing, whatever you want to call it, that they say Russia controlled, happened digitally. Facebook data was used to find out. In fact, there's a good case study on Gujarat elections. I should not talk more about it, but if you go online, you'll find out about how, the same firm that worked for Trump was used in India to do the digital marketing, design the messages and strategic planning. You guys should look at that. So anyhow, the fact is that's a digital marketing. 15 to 20 is digital business. There are companies which do not exist in brick and mortar form. They only exist in the ether. People, business, and the things have come together. Okay? The future is what I call algorithms. Forget the business, algorithmic business. Algorithms. So what comes together is people, business, the things, and AI. So actually I have overlapped, it's not coming up. Smart machines. Artificial intelligence is nothing but a part of things. They come together. There's a reason I'm telling you this story. Because if this is the business world that the industry we all come from caters to, what is your role? Your role is going to be in that area. Okay, so we have been doing for some time. Digest this fact. Your role is going to be in that last area. Sadly, you see there is no technology over there. I'm not talking programming languages or anything else. I'm talking about people. Do you understand people? Do you understand consumers? I'm talking business processes. IoT. IoT, maybe you can call it a technology, but it's more than a technology if you know the Internet of Things. Okay? And artificial intelligence that leverages IoT. And does any of this sound familiar to you? They should sound familiar to you. Because this is your future. Now, this was one perspective. Let me take another perspective. You may ask, Arun, tell me the trends that will change the world. Okay? If they are going to change the world 5 years from now, maybe we should start working on them now so that we are ready. Do you want to know top 10 technology happenings which will change the world? Okay. And this is from MIT. So let me pick up one by one. Sitting over here about a couple of years back, I talked about 3D printing. Right? It remained in the labs, a lot of printing happened, dental, etc. that I see, the teeth getting printed. But now, seriously, it has entered metal printing. You have printers available, metal printers available for $100K, $100,000 commercially available. You can print things using them. Otherwise they were in lab, only NASA was using, etc. Now they're coming out. You know what it means? For a manufacturing plant, there is no need to have just-in-time supply, which was the best thing, or big warehouse. Michelin is here, they will realize that, or any manufacturer. In your factory, based upon the consumption, you keep on printing. Same printer can give you different type of metal parts. Rubber was anyhow already there, metal was a difficult one, that has come. Localized printing can happen, so the transportation cost of the parts are gone. Anyhow, you guys extrapolate the logic. So that's 3D metal printing. Artificial embryos. This is a strange thing. Scientists took from the mouse umbilical cord, the mouse, one cell, and they were read that cell multiplied in this environment, and they watched in an amazing way how the live mouse did not get produced, but the whole cell started growing and it was having the same form as the mouse. Artificial embryos. Your one cell, no need of sperm, no need of egg. One cell would be used to create the whole being. Future of reproduction. Now, this is a hugely controversial thing. Hugely controversial. Ethical issues, religious, there are so many issues. But this is science. It is happening. Okay, great for some years. The painful process of childbirth, 9 months of carrying and then the painful childbirth, it may not be there. One cell, artificial embryo, you have the kid. Kid who is disease free. Now I'm not going deeper into it, but this is reality. Okay? And this is totally different. This is, you remember, everything is happening outside the body, but for that one cell that got picked. And scientists are working on this unique ability of the cell, which is coded in the genome, that it knows exactly how to multiply. Not replicate itself. But it's like 3D printers, you tell them what to build, somehow in the cell the instruction is there about how to recreate a new being from one cell. That's the reality. Smart sensing cities. India, we are building a lot of smart cities. There is no problem with that. Most of the smart cities in the world, they had an overrun of the cost. Quite often, they were compromised during development process because it was not envisaged what exactly is needed. Now what is happening? Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, they have adopted few cities. They are putting sensors all across the city to measure different parameters: traffic, pollution, movement, people living. They're using that data to create a model of the future city. Hence, in the planning of the smart city, the data from the current city is gone. Artificial intelligence would create or would design the future city. Future city will get implemented now, the smart city, and couple of concepts of that. The mundane jobs like mail delivery or package delivery would happen through conduits where the robots will move. You don't have to be on the top to do it. They'll keep on moving and doing the job. Pop up wherever you have to deliver something. There's a lot more, you guys can read about it. Now, this is how smart cities will get developed. Now some of you may be afraid saying, oh my God, artificial intelligence, that means in a way robots are going to design my cities where I will live. Hold that thought, but this is reality. Be afraid if you want to be. Or be excited if you want to be. Artificial intelligence, how many of you, all of you have some idea about it. How many of you really know what artificial intelligence is? Show me some hands. Excellent, no one knows. Very good. Because you don't have to know. Artificial intelligence and use of it has become so easy that you don't have to really understand artificial intelligence. Google TensorFlow. Have you guys heard of TensorFlow? Show me some hands if you know. Okay, good. What is it? AI APIs. Use it. Glow. Microsoft. Now the beauty is, this is what the future trend is. AI has come onto cloud and it's available through APIs to anybody and everybody. You can do any model you want, and I suggest some of you in your lab start using it. It's so easy. I have started using it. I left programming 15 years back, but I just started using it because there is no programming in it. So, artificial intelligence for everybody. Next 3 years you will find any programming you do, this thing would be there. You will be using it. Now, there are a lot of inherent things. AI needs data. Huge amount. The more data, the better is the artificial intelligence, the learning part. But let me not go deeper into it. Something that would interest. Turing network, neural networks. How many of you heard about this? Okay, good. I see some hands. Very good. You know what is Turing networks? Turing is fighting with each other. Now, let me scare you. And this is real. Artificial intelligence learns from the data, right? You give it data, so for example, you give it images of people crossing the road, right? It will analyze that, and whenever it sees the image, some image randomly, it will say, these are people crossing the road. Because it has seen hundreds of images of people crossing the road. It learns from the data. Okay? Now, Turing network is fighting. Turing not network, neural network. Think of two robots. First one has been given the data. So the idea is, First robo is called seeder, someone who implants the idea. Other one is called discriminator. So this guy will, let's say, give an image. It will print an image of people crossing the street. This guy is supposed to say whether this is a real picture or not. Now the seeder, what it will do is it will take a real picture, because it cannot create on its own today, and modify it, cheat. So for example, it will put one extra hand on one person. This one, the discriminator robo, is supposed to find out that it has cheated. First iteration it will find out, say, hey, you cheated. See, this is the wrong one. Now, first robo, the seeder, it will learn from the mistake, saying, that guy could find my flaw of cheating this way, let me improve. Soon the seeder will become so good that it will make sure that the discriminator fails. This is artificial intelligence and robotics. You see where it's going? You can create currencies. I'll leave it over there. This is real. It's happening. This is the trend. And they are all relevant. Within next 5 years, next 3 years, they are already real now. Next 3 years, they will be in the field, and we will be facing the problem as industry leaders to do something with them. 5, let me give you 5 more. And Professor, please stop me. Zero carbon natural gas. You know, whenever natural gas is burned, most of the energy today is produced by that. There is a CO2 that gets produced. Though it's much less than the coal, but still it gets produced. Now, there are new technologies which have come, which take the CO2, they take it through the high temperature and pressure, and it becomes something what's called a supercritical state. It goes to supercritical state, it flows, and from that flow turbines are moved, and finally you get solidified form of CO2. So this whole process, there is no emission of CO2, but at the end you have got some CO2 in the solid form. The question that comes right now is what to do with that. But rest of it has become clean. This is happening in Texas right now. Now, if this is true, then every house, small generation units could be put up instead of these big transmissions that happen. Okay? So this is a new technology that's coming up. Perfecting online privacy. Let me talk to the only students, not the friends. You go to a bar, think of the school and you went to the bar, and you have to show your ID card, right? To prove that you are above 18. Some of you look younger, right? The whole detail is there. Go to hotel to check in with your friend. Both your ID cards, or whatever identity cards are scanned and kept there. You don't like it. Imagine proving that you are above 18 without giving all the details. How nice would that be? Correct? I can see the smile, but no hands. Huh? Okay, understand. This is what this is all about. Read more. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just speeding up things. These Babelfish earbuds. Earbuds in your ear you put, and this comes from a movie. Guardians of the Galaxy or some movie like that. You put it, what they do today, and they're available. Pixel buds they are called. How many of you have used it, Pixel buds? Okay. They provide language translation. So I speak, so Professor Edwin will speak in Tamil on that. I will hear in Hindi in my ears. I will speak in French, let's say, and he will hear it in English. So any to any language translation. This function was there in the phone, now it has come onto the earbuds. Those earbuds are ugly. They look bad. But hey, that's the artist, right? Tomorrow they will make it beautiful and better. Impact of that, think about business, think about travel. Now suddenly the whole world, irrespective of the language spoken, has become one. Think about the software changes, if at all required in any banks or any other company. That's a major change. Language will remain no more a barrier. Okay, material quantum, let me leave other two because it's becoming too much. So these are the trends. Are you ready for it? These trends is what all my colleagues sitting over here, all the companies that we come from, the whole global IT industry will be working on. Are we ready for it? Are you ready for it? तब तो प्रॉब्लम है और हमें प्रॉब्लम है बिकॉज कस्टमर के सामने हम रहते हैं, कस्टमर हमसे कहता है कि करना है और हम ऐसे सीनियर लीडर बोलते हैं हाँ कर देंगे, उसके बाद वापस आकर के we look at our resource pool and we go to our recruitment and other stuff, right? And then the problem starts. We fail. Okay, so now that we have seen what industry needs is solutioning. The first question that I had, they do not need a programmer. This is a big change that has happened. Remember the questions I asked, how do you find the chili seeds or chilies? How do you find the amount of water? How do you find fraud? How do you predict that the car is going to go and hit that other car and hence stop it? How do you? Solutioning capability. Indian IT industry today and almost 100% of Indian IT industry in about 3 years' time would be solving problems, not taking orders and code fixing and doing testing. It's gone. It will be there. Okay? But all that would get automated using robotic process automation. Call center jobs would be gone. Robotic process automation. Alexa is beautiful. Alexa is wonderful. Alexa will do everything. Problem solving. Solutioning. That was point number 1. Second thing I said is, how should you look into the universe? People, business, things. Any interaction of that will define the future. And I gave you all these examples you have seen. People, business and things interacting in this. You have to be ready for it. Now, having brought up all the problems, let me try to summarize it. The career pillar, I call it. Sometime back I came here 6 years back or so, I said house, career house. What is it that you should have? Foundation, pillars and roof to define your career. It was people aspect, communication, etc. I'm not going to talk about that because I know that you know it. I know that Saurabh and team has institutionalized a lot of those trainings over here to develop those soft skills and other skills. Let's look from another angle today. Okay guys, so this is the career pillar. It's made up of, this pillar gets built up in 4 stages. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about what's written on the right hand side. This is previous version before I did the cleanup of the deck. The 4 layers are, number 1 is basic science. Are your science fundamentals clear? To count the chili, you have to go to fundamentals of the biology, also the fundamentals of image processing bits, how images are stored, CCD, charge coupled devices, etc., etc. Basic science you have to go to. That's the fundamental thing. Okay? Anyhow, you say without that you can't do engineering. So basic science fundamentals should be clear. This was not required 5 years back. If you knew C programming, Java programming, that was good. You would have got selected. But today, when I'm recruiting, I have to have this because my problems are not Java or C problems, or C++ problems, or Unix problems. Like I said, my problems are real world problems. Use any damn technology you require to solve it. Your science should be basic science. Physics, chemistry, biology. Okay? Your 12th you should have done good, and first year, second year, chemistry, mathematics and physics. Everything becomes so relevant now. Second layer is what? Basic engineering layer. Fundamentals of engineering, measurements, principles. Okay? And interesting enough, sometime back I used to talk about circuit branch. I don't talk it anymore. Because most of the solutions require a collaboration between civil engineers. Mechanical engineering has become so important with Internet of Things. At the end of the day, what is Internet of Things? There has to be one transducer, a mechanical device more often than not, that's measuring something. It picks up the data, and then using some protocol it's sent to the gateway. That last part is mechanical. There's a huge collaboration across the fields. Chemical, mechanical, civil. Okay, the fundamental ones. So basic engineering is the second layer, built on top of science. Now the third one, this will become unfamiliar to you. What is engineering? What is technology? Technology is use of, what is the definition? You guys are doing B.Tech, Bachelor of Technology, right? What is technology? Use of science to solve exactly any real world problem. Business is nothing but real world issues, right? Transactions are happening. Technology should solve, may improve the efficiency or effectiveness or create new type of business. Without that business knowledge, technology is useless. Medical, there's a business that's happening. Hospitals are in business. Everything is a business. Technology supports business. If you are stuck at the technology level, you are just a worker. If you are at the business layer, you are a thinker. At the business layer, you create the solutions. Technology just comes in. Technology implements the solution. At the business layer, you create the solution. Are you with me? You understand the importance of business now. And on the top, I'm going to say something that all these are useless. 3 layers. This is the disruptive, innovative layer. You must think something that will disrupt the complete business. So let me say, Saurabh was running a bank here. He was in banking business. Okay, he had a beautiful big building with marble floors where people came and put their money or took the money. And he made money on every transaction. That's what happened. That's what the banks do. I wanted to disrupt it. I had no money. I had no building. How would I disrupt? I wanted to disrupt his whole business. To take away all the business he was doing. Yeah, go ahead. E-banking, great. I'll start in 60 days. I'll use Temenos, a company. They will set up a model bank in 30 days on the ether cloud somewhere. Zero banking I'll give because I have no cost. He has a cost. Every liability of his I'll convert into asset of mine. People don't have to go to his bank. Sitting at the home they can do it. This is disruptive. Only thing is what I described is 10-year-old thing. This has already happened. How will you disrupt Uber? How will you disrupt Airbnb? That's what my customers are asking. Let me give you an example, and if you're putting on YouTube, search out this part of it, right? Again, I'll give you a practical example. Eureka folks, EFL, they are the leaders in water purifiers. The challenge here, and we are the IT partner for them, complete IT. The challenge they have is, how do I thwart away the challenge from the Chinese producers, okay, and retain our #1 position. Now, is this a technical problem? And we are supposed to solve it. Again, another example of the business layer problem. By the way, slightly going deeper into it so that you guys understand. Please purge it out. This is not to be discussed outside this room. You know, the biggest business in water purifier is not selling the purifier. Actually, they can give it for free. The real money comes from those candles. Every 6 months you have to change. And this, when you have to change it, the guy who comes to service guy, to your mom, to your wife, he'll give offer. Madam, ये कैंडल 3,500 रुपए का है, लेकिन देखिए एकदम वैसा ही कैंडल है, कुछ भी डिफरेंट नहीं, देखो दिखाएगा भी, ये सिर्फ 700 रुपए का है, कौन सा लगाऊं? Second, despite knowing that where I'm going, all of you say second वाला. Exactly. And that candle is made in China. During a post of business here. They were losing big time. They asked for a solution. You know what we did? Put IoT in the candle. Now candle will say that it is expiring the life. Candle calls and the machine calls the center saying, I have expired, my life is going to expire in 15 days. Instead of customer calling, कि भैया मेरा candle replace कर दो नहीं हुआ. Now the calls from the service center you get a call saying, hey, your candle is going to expire. Please get it serviced. And now when the serviceman goes, when he puts the candle, if it's a wrong candle, service center gets a notice. You see, IoT. This is something by the way we have put in what they call Genius series. This has been put. Okay, this whole thing is out. Let's not go in. Guys, that's the problem that we in the industry are facing. Those are the type of solutions we have to come out with. Okay? Now, alternate thinking, okay, is what I was talking about. If something is going very good, figure out how to disrupt it. It's expected from you, and you, the fresher community, are most apt at doing it. Because you do not carry the legacy of thinking in the way that we have been thinking in the industry, having been there for 30 years, 20 years. Start thinking. Disrupt. Uber ko kaise rokoge? How do you stop Uber? Now, so are you guys with me that these are the 4 things?
Yes, sir.
Now I will come back to the reality. Okay? It's a sad reality. Don't hate me for that. Colleges क्या कर रहे हैं? At each layer. So let's go to layer 1, base science. So whatever you see in granite is solid thing that you've got. School and college have given you sufficient science background, right? I have not put a percentage purposefully. I leave it to your interpretation what it is, because data is a bit controversial. 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever, depending upon the school and college you have come from. If science is good, that gap is what will define who's the winner and who's the loser. So if you have personally bridged all the gap, your fundamentals are good, believe me, just on the basis of this, you are a winner. You will be the leader in the industry. Just based on this science. Base engineering. Quite often we ask, क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं classroom में? इसका तो कोई use नहीं है. Like my first question, right? You learned and you used at home. 0. But believe me, the base engineering is really solid in India. Basic engineering that you learn, principles. Your understanding of how transistor works, how gates get formed, I'm talking digital electronics here, right? Is so solid thanks to the education system that you have. Okay? You may not realize it, but when you enter deeper, you say, so I would give credit to the colleges saying, basic engineering 80 to 90% you are there. Unfortunately, industry needs more than that, right? Where are you with respect to business process? 5%, 10%, even less. And the reason I put something, it could have been 0. And remember what industry needs is solutioning. Solution needs understanding of the problem and the business flow. This is where the problem is. Use cases. You live in the society, but you are not seeing what are the problems in the society. All of you know banking. Who does not have a banking account here? Show me your hand. Do you understand how retail banking works? How many of you have mobile phones here? Okay, don't show me your hands. Do you know how it works? Do you really know how it works? Exactly. Who will teach you that? Don't ask. See, I think professors and lecturers have done their job. They will look from their angle about how to fill the white areas. But this is your biggest problem area if you ask me. Suddenly you'll find I'm not copying technology here. This is important. Believe me, anybody from this group that's sitting over there, from HCM, Human Capital Management Group of different companies, when they come and you talk about business process, you will be selected. You will be outstanding. Because others will be talking, I have done interrupt processing on 8085, which was buried in ground 20 years back. Okay, they were talking, I know C++, I know Python. Great. So does everybody else. Business process. Understood this one? And the last thing is alternate thinking, disruptive thinking, innovative thinking. Again, I wanted to show some granite there, otherwise it will totally empty, so I put something there. This is the weakness of all of us Indians, including me, everybody sitting here. We are so compliant to the culture. We have a compliant culture. सौरभ सर ने कहा बैठ जाओ तो बैठ जाएंगे. ये भी सोचिए क्यों कहा बैठने के लिए. और तब तक बैठे रहेंगे तो बोला नहीं उठ जाओ. Compliant. Compliant, by definition in psychology, is you are not happy with the situation. Otherwise, it would have been submission. Bhagwan ke paas jaake you become so good, you will be sitting there for a whole day happily. In the school, when someone says sit down, you are sitting the same thing, but you are unhappy. As a culture, society, we are compliant. That is, we are unhappy. Compliance kills alternate thinking. This is the biggest need in the industry. All my clients, and I keep on traveling, Professor Andrew was talking about that, I've been traveling, literally I've been with my clients. If no one is asking me, Arun, are you guys good at programming? Are you good at testing? Are you good at architecture? We are from India, we are good at that. It's a granted. Now they are throwing problems at me, like the problem I said. I gave over there. 2, 3, there are many. I need alternate thinking. I need people with alternate thinking. And as a funny, I was sharing with some of the professors of yours, some of the brightest ideas have come from my freshers. So we have 3 months plus 3 months of training for everybody, anybody who enters. And from selected few get entry into what we call team mechanics, where we provide everything, we do whatever you want to do in the research area. So very creative ideas like use of Alexa for customer service, route optimization came from the freshers. Okay, so if you think that I am a fresher who I am 6th sem, how can I do it? Think again. You are the best suited because you don't have any legacy to carry. Okay, but your focus, first 2 layers, you have to do it, is hygiene. If you don't do it, you will not pass the exams and you need the degree. But the other 2 top layers is what the industry needs, and you each and every one of you, if you work on that area, you will excel. And it's so easy to do that. How many of you know YouTube or watch anything on YouTube? Oh, don't show me your hands. All of these are available as training material on YouTube or Coursera and other, either free or paid for nothing, almost nothing type of payment you do when you do the courses. Okay? Having said that, this is where I like to conclude, but before that, let me put some starting fact, right? And this is from the data. From all the students who come out of India, thanks to this depiction that I have on the left-hand side, only 18.43% out of every 100, only about 18.5 are suitable for software engineering jobs. And that includes everything in software engineering. Out of that, for the core engineering work, IoT, protocol development, etc., is 7.49, 7.5 people. Out of that, day 1, I take the person, put onto the job. That we'll all love to do. My colleagues sitting here from industry would love to do. You come from campus, start working. Only 3.95% fall in that category. Out of all who come out of the college, and this is heavily biased towards cities. Some places, some regions have more than others, but this is the average. Now guys, you want to be in that 3.9, let's say 4%, right? And what I have given you the formula on the left hand side of how you could be there. Good luck to you. Thank you.